we're gonna be chilling for today's video too. It's kind of rainy right now. Cloudy, rainy days are actually really pretty, which they are. I can actually appreciate gloom, which this isn't gloomy to me. This is still kind of bright, but non-sunny rainy days now, having taken some art classes. The dogs are roughhousing. I got y'all with some doggy content. I don't know what to do for today's video. We got a list of stuff to talk about. We talked about the auto class. I'll probably talk about dealer school. Maybe this will just be the intro for the dealer school video. But for now, what time is it? Let me make sure I'm not losing too much time. Oops, I can't check. Anyway, for now, yeah, I'm just appreciating while the dogs are playing. It's fall time. There's a lot of trees that don't have anything on them, like these behind me. There's trees that do still have their fall colors. There's some evergreen little ones out here, the shrubs. There's leaves on the ground, but they're manageable, so no snakes. It's just pretty out. Let's see if I can get the dogs to say hi, or if they're too playful right now. Baby girl Liza wants to say hi. She my little road doggy. You enjoying your stick? Yeah. Diary of a foster doggy. Is it good? Kenai's behind me. I feel him. I thought you could see him, but there's no space there. But yeah, where's Kenai? Come say hi, buddy. Say hi to the camera. No, he just wants hugs. He just wants hugs and booty scratches. Yeah. All right, let me get y'all your doggy cam for today. As soon as they start running around like they got the zoomies. Pretty girl Liza. Look at him. Here's back just chilling. We're back at the streaming studio. The dogs are drinking water. I just gave them dinner. Don't mind those weird lapping noises. But anyway, to talk about school. I'm trying to figure what to do for today's video, and I'm running out of daylight. So we're just going to talk about being back in school. Give me 1 second. I got to take my trays out. I'm starting over. I keep rambling. I really had a good time, and I kind of just want to make this a ramble video with no edits because I have to finish these last assignments. That's all. I thought I had the weekend completely free, and then I found something else I have to do. So it's okay. My brain is just like, can we just talk? So I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. Maybe I'll do a ramble video with no edits. So anyway, welcome to the video for today. As you saw in, I think I did an intro where I said we're going to just talk about the Dealer Academy and casino life. I think that's what we're going to do. Action. So, your girl put herself back in school, right? And some people ask me why. I've plotted some things out for my life. And there are some things that, are side quests you kind of just want to do, just to do. And there are some things that are very important to me. And I've already mentioned that the auto class is very important to me. That's a necessity that I need to understand. That's a skill for me. Dealer school was a side quest. So let's start from the beginning. And like I said, this is going to be a ramble video. So if you feel like leaving, it's okay. If you want to hear me ramble, I appreciate it. She wants to be free, and I'm trying to get my video done. So back to the beginning. It was when I moved here. When I moved into my place, I would often walk my dog, and I saw signs for like dealer school, and it wasn't far from me, and I was curious, but I didn't have the brain space, and I definitely didn't have the scheduling to be available to do that. I was still doing a lot of back and forth of travel, and I had a lot of other responsibilities that I was trying to finish up in my free time while I had my year of downtime before I get locked into a company and make the decision to move forward with them. So I didn't have the space to do the Dealer Academy, but I saw it and I was very curious, and I knew I wanted to go back to school, and I just needed a break, and I just wanted to see what it was like, just to see if I could do it, if it was fun, whatever. So the time comes and I have to make a decision. And this is coming up on, I think it's June, July or something like that, when I see that the applications are still open for Dealer Academy. I had finished registering for my auto. Did I? I think I did, because I met with the professor for the auto classes. And I just asked him a bunch of questions because I get a stipend to go for that. And I just wanted to make sure I was okay. And then when I saw that, I said, okay, well, that's nighttime. Let me look at the schedule for this Dealer Academy. So I go online and I see that the schedule makes sense. I can do Dealer Academy and I can do my night class. I also saw that the Dealer Academy is 8 to 10 weeks. And my night class goes until basically next week we have. So it's a full 3 months, I think. September, October, November. Yeah, about a full 3 months if you take all the breaks out. So I said, okay, that's fine. And I'm not forgetting my Saturday class. I'll talk about that on another time. But I said that'll be interesting, learning 3 things at the same time and trying to figure it out. Like, these are completely out of my element. Acting is a little bit in my element. That coaching is a lot more specific. So, and it's 1 day a week. So at least I can tackle that and then I can think about it through the week, but I don't have to do anything for it. And anything I'm doing is just me in my element, sending him a video. Like, the first thing we did was monologues. And I realized it was better for me to just take a couple, whatever. I'm rambling about the wrong thing. Anyway, I figured I could balance it. I wrote my semester out. That's what I used to do in biology, and started classes. And I walk into the first class and the room is set up. It's a TCC room where they have the chairs set to the side, but they're all facing one direction like a professor. And in my brain, I'm like, okay, Dealer Academy is turned into a lecture. That's going to be different. Okay. Excuse me, I'm used to ODU. Like, you have lecture and then you have lab, and you don't do labs in your lecture. You might have a professor if it's like a specific class, but in a class that's so general, lecture and then lab. So we're sitting here and I'm like, okay, so this is a lecture. Let me get ready. I got my notebook. I had my notebook from 90% of that class, scribbling everything they said in there so I wouldn't forget. And I probably should refresh on those, but I have the printouts. It's fine. And they didn't tell us in the beginning we were going to have printouts. They told us, like, once we started learning, that we were able to get them. So anyway, back to the first part. So we get to the class and everybody's in there and we're all just waiting, looking at the professor or the instructors expectantly. And they start with, this is going to be 8 to 10 weeks, depending on everyone's progress. You're not guaranteed to pass. So if you don't pass, it's okay. You just won't continue in the courses. You are not paid to do these courses. And what was something else? Oh, and they told us what the pay rate would be that we'd be agreeing to should we get a job offer. And when they did, I was just like, dang, like, because I've never worked in service industry in this way. I've worked in retail and yes, I have. I worked on a food truck for a little bit, but he didn't pay me and he was supposed to be paying me. So I didn't have the concept of service industry pay. And they didn't give us the Tokes rate on top of that. They just told us the base rate. They give you the qualifiers to see who's going to stay in the class and who's not going to stay in the class. And after that first day, we were down probably 5 people. We had a good amount of people in there in that very first day. We learned the basics, how you carry yourself, how you stand, how you attend the table. You have to walk your game. You have to talk your game. We learned how to cut checks. We learned, obviously we learned playing the game. We learned the bets and what they mean, the different call outs you're going to have to do on the floor. I can't really specifically think of anything right now outside of that. You have to go to the class for sure to learn those things. But there are some call outs that we practiced and it was so nice. To give a general overview of the class, we spent 8 to 10 weeks learning 5 games. You did auditions for those games. We had one event where we were on the spot doing a game that we learned, and tending to everyone and practicing our confidence, practicing our call outs. If we made a mistake, we were expected to call floor. We weren't expected to correct the mistakes. which is really nice. I love that about my job. I don't have responsibility. I have responsibility if I take responsibility. And if I make like a major mistake, like a money error or something like that, it's my responsibility because I'm whatever. But you have a supervisor right there that you immediately call for. Hey, there was a mistake here. Call out the mistake. That shows that you understand what you're doing. And then they'll tell you what to do as far as moving forward. But yeah, the class was just a reflection of basically what's on the floor. It was a great time. There were a lot of lessons. I lost my mentor right in the beginning of it. I think class started, and then within like the first week or so, my professor passed, or maybe it was 2 weeks. And that was really rough. I didn't want to really tell the class because something I forgot to mention in my last video was that coming back to school was intentional. It took me 8 years to get my biology degree. Every time I took organic chemistry, somebody died. So I felt for a very long time that it was impossible for me to finish and get my degree. And then got it and got counseling in the process and all that, and I'm okay. But it put a fear for me for school. Like, if it took me 8 years and I lost so many family members in that time trying to do something to better myself, can I do it again? So I had to. That first couple weeks was rough, like processing the loss, helping his wife, learning the things, practicing on the weekend when I wasn't there. So when I came back on Monday, it wasn't like I didn't learn anything and I had to start out rough. There was one weekend I didn't do that and I never did that again. Like, I hated that feeling. I don't like that feeling when I know better and I could afford the time to do better. I just managed my time wrong. So yeah, man, this class was rough with the life things happening in the background and with learning all the new things and with being challenged every day was something different. If it wasn't the game, it might have been the class chemistry. If it wasn't the class chemistry, it was my mind. If I wasn't present, I wasn't doing well. So that really helped me with working on that. That's been something I've been trying to do all my life. I'm not an overthinker. Well, I am a little bit of an overthinker now. I used to be way worse, but I'm such a ahead of time thing. Like, I'm processing the rest of my day, or I'm processing a plan that I've been working on in my mind. And I'm always trying to work through things mentally that it takes me away from the moment. And you can't do that on the table. If you do that, somebody will cap their bet. And the casino has paid out more than they should have on a multiple. You could mess up a hand and that changes somebody's livelihood. You can't do that. So we learned a lot of that. We had 20 minutes, sorry. We had 20 minutes at the start of each class where we were just cutting checks. And at first you got bored because then I was like, oh, I haven't been bored in a long time. That means I know something. I'm starting to master it. Cool. How can we shift our mentality? Because we still have to do this every day for 20 minutes because this does matter. And I had to start using that as my zone out time from outside world, zone in time to class time. So I can really take in what they're teaching us and I can really master this before I get to the floor. Sorry, I'm trying to get my tearing up, open up my sinuses. Anyway, now to the fun part. The fun things that happened were we had 3 instructors, 3 entirely different personalities. One was the hard, you're going to get it. And you don't get this now? You got it yesterday. You don't get it today? But he wasn't like that in your face. It was like, he was more annoyed. And it was like, why are you so annoyed? I don't know what I'm doing. Yes, you do. You did it yesterday. That type of motivation. Then you have the soft and more emotionally supportive instructor who would take her time with things with you and slow it down and break it down if you don't understand it, or she would come up with something, another way to remember it if that would help. And then you got the dad. And the dad wanted to we're having a group talk right now. Okay, guys, I get it. You want to help each other. But that's what we're here for. So when you have questions, Ask us. We are your instructors. You don't want students who are still learning to misguide another student who is still learning. You may be right, but let us tell them, and that's okay. I'm sorry. This chat's I should have turned my notifications off. But yeah, like that's that type, 3 different type professors or instructors. I keep saying professors. But they brought a different thing to the table. So when we had our competitive days, we had, even though he challenged us, the one that was like hard on you would be encouraging you during like the relay races, or like when we really couldn't figure something out, he would shift to being softer, reapproach, help us get there. And then he's like, all right, see, I told you, you got it. The nurturer one, if we're really frustrated, she was there for us. And it was really nice to be able to just talk and like kind of get it on our own pace if we needed to, but also be pushed if we needed to, so that we can keep moving. We're not complacent where we are, if that makes sense. We had our Kahoot battles. I'm gonna try to keep this below 20 minutes. The past couple videos have been short, so enjoy my rambles. We had our Kahoot battles. We had our relay races where math mattered. We had our events. That one was a lot of fun. I got to speak and do an interview at our Alumni Appreciation Day, which was basically a blackjack day. Alumni from the Dealer Academy came back, and they were our patrons or guests. We call them guests. And so we served them at the tables. I had a lot of people at my table, and then I was the house table, and then I had nobody at my table. So it was fun. We rotated with rest, with actually having a relief come and take us for 20 minutes, and then we come right back. The food was pretty good. The people were all our supervisors, which was really nice. We got to see a lot of faces. My outfit was fly. Oh yeah, I might have to put that in here. I'm gonna see if I got time with this editing to put it in here. But it was fly. I went to Ross the day before, and I do this thing where I pray before I shop for something specific. And I was like, all right, God, I don't know what you have for me for this event, but what I got in the closet is not it. Them pants, I don't keep slacks. I'm not gonna say they don't look good on me now that I have those other pair. But the general type that I got in high school were like capris, and I didn't like having high waters, and it never really looked good to me with what I had grew up with, so I just never keep them. I keep skirts and jumpers or jumpsuits or something like that. I keep a lot of blazers, and I like to mix it up. I like to keep my styles rotated. But for this, they wanted a white button up and some black slacks. So I said, God, yeah, how can we be creative with this so I'm still cute and I'm still covered? Because I want to be able to stand out in a good way. I don't want to stand out in the way that I got in my closet. My closet is like summer. Like I have a summertime button-up shirt that's great as like a twisty in the middle, but it doesn't look flattering on me when you wear it like this type of style where it has to be buttoned straight down and tucked in your pants. So I go in the store, I walk around, I found an outfit for $20. These beautiful flared, I was about to say jeans, beautiful flare like parachute pants, slacks, because they weren't specific. They just wanted the color and the professional style. And then I had a blouse which had like ruffled at the sleeves, and then they had fake pearls around the neck. And I bantu knotted my hair so it was like curled around in a style. You know, you shake your style out so it's like all over or whatever. And then I did a light makeup. And when I say I was fly, I was fly. The first time our supervisor saw us, I was fly, man. And I had these glasses. And I got to be on camera. And that video is going to be on their website. As soon as I see it, I'm gonna have to put it up here. Or at least some of it. Because I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to do that. But yeah, that was fun. It was fun to pick the outfit out. It was fun to do the event. It was fun to get most of the games right. Like I was so confident. They heard my call outs from across the room. I played the game really well. Even when I was thinking I was making a mistake, I didn't feel that I was making the mistake because I was in the moment and everybody was in the moment. And it felt so good that was the first time we really saw our progress together. And after we had our auditions, our first auditions, I got to my audition and I definitely like got nervous. And then I stopped professing this. I used to be I'm one of those people that I'll train really well. And then back then I would get to performance and then it would get in my head and I would get some serious anxiety and it would throw me. And that happened that day. And I realized it happened because I told myself that it would happen. I don't do that anymore. And every audition after that didn't happen. Now, I did need to refresh them because they usually give people a day to refresh, and I didn't get a day to refresh on my next audition. So after that, I got my refresher. But I didn't like not pass it. I just was like, I knew I made way more mistakes in that audition than I had on the others. And I was salty about it because I was overconfident. So it is what it is. But I said I was going to keep this to 20 minutes, and this was my ramble. I got another like 90 seconds. I got to speak at graduation. Oh, let me say this first. I'm gonna finish my thoughts. We got about less time than that. I'm gonna finish my thoughts and I'll leave with the graduation speech. I got to speak at graduation, and I appreciated the opportunity because I really enjoyed the class. And I really do feel like now that I'm on the floor, it properly prepared us, especially if you took what they said and listened. And if you don't hold on to things, you'll have a much better time. It's just like life. You're learning. It's okay. You're learning every day. Even if you think you know what you're doing, there's going to be something else that could throw you off your game, but only if you allow it. So, for those of you who stayed to the end, thank you for listening to my ramble. I hope it's been a great 20 minutes or 19 and a half minutes as of now. I look forward to seeing you in the comment section or in another video. And if you want any more information, I guess, or if you have any questions about what Dealer Academy was like, this was me rambling about it. So just give me specific questions and I can answer them for you. And yeah, we'll make another video. If you want to know what it's like being on the floor, let me know about that too. But for now, peace. I have some prepared words as, sorry, 2 minutes? Yeah, 2 minutes. Prepared words, I'm gonna try to keep it short. As everyone's been saying, it's been a grueling process. Making sure we get to class on time was a task, especially with some of our classmates coming from much further distances, crossing the bridge, having life circumstances happening, and still making it to show up and have a good attitude each and every day for 5 days a week, 3.5 hours, for 10 weeks. We did it, you guys. Whoa. Whoa. Don't you guys feel that? Like, we've accomplished this. Like everyone said, together, we've built our communities. We've had our Kahoot battles. We've had our rushing, challenges where we have to race to go see who can do something faster. We couldn't have done all of that and been such a good community without you guys as well. Thank you for your patience and for your guidance and your mentorship that's allowed us to learn how to get through our nervousness as we're learning something that's a trade. This is something that you thought playing the game was fun. Try dealing it. There's so many rules and things to think about. Yeah, thank you everyone for making and taking the time to be here. We appreciate you coming out to support us, and we hope that we honor you guys on the floor.
Great job, CSea.